Wow. I had just mentioned this dude. I had just mentioned him, and I am not surprised by this. So, it appears that James Harden is being sued for um, negligence in a alleged sexual assault case somewhere in Texas. The person's name, um, Marisa Hardley, in all likelihood, she's probably of African American descent, or at least got black in her. Maybe biracial, maybe half black, half white, maybe black and Mexican. Whatever the case may be, this happened in Harris County. I don't know if that's, I don't know what county Houston is in or what county Dallas is in, but apparently he's next up. And the funny thing about this, I just talked about this. I just had said that he probably was going to eventually get rolled up in one of these, because James Harden is known for hanging out in the strip clubs and dropping, $100,000, anywhere from fifty to $100,000 in cash at strip clubs. He's known to basically, I'll just say it. He's known to basically trick. I know some people say it ain't tricking if you got it. Well, here's the thing, you know, now tricking got women trying to take your money. So I'm not surprised by this. I'm not surprised by James Hart. Um, I'm always suspicious of this. Now the person in hand, the person in question, excuse me, is saying that basically the security guard, his security team, failed to basically stop his nephew from sexually assaulting her when they were at a party. See, here's my thing. Why are you going to these parties? Why are you coming around? This always seems like a case of somebody that just felt some kind of way. Basically, they may have gave up the twat, and they was feeling some kind of way. They didn't get no money, so just basically they decided to just say, "Oh, okay, well he sexually assaulted me." This is an epidemic now, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna get to the point. It's gonna get to the point to where dudes are just not gonna want to deal with women in general, where they just going, I don't know, where they may have to just try to practice abstinence and everything, because now you can't even have fun when you're young, rich, and black, because you always have to worry about somebody accusing you of something, running your name through the mud. Now, I'm gonna say this once again: James Harden is not being sued for sexual assault; he's being sued for negligence. I'm just always suspicious of these type of things. I'm just always suspicious when you hear about a woman filing a lawsuit, but then they don't want to file criminal charges, but then they claim they were sexually assaulted. When are we going to start really coming down on these women? When are we going to really start asking them, hey, you want to sue, but why aren't you filing criminal charges? I just find that strange when a woman you know, wants to sue instead of have these people placed under arrest. Listen, if a man violates your body, touches you inappropriately, then you need to bring the authorities in. But see, this is why. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why isn't she suing the nephew? Well, James Harden is the one with the money. So, of course, it makes all the sense in the world to go after the guy with the money. His nephew probably don't have any money. I find these things always strange. I find them very suspect. But I knew it was a matter of time they was gonna come after James Harden. Like I said, James Harden is known for hanging out in the strip. Like I said, it sucked to be rich. It sucked to be rich and black and have money because you always got people scheming on you. And now it's just to the point now where, you know, you can't even enjoy the fruits of your labor now because you always got people scheming on you now. My thing is, why the fuck did she go to the party? At the end of the day, let's just keep it a buck here. In all likelihood, you know what happens when you hang out at mansions and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, she probably wanted Harden. She didn't get Harden. And probably she ended up with the nephew, and she got pissed off about it, and probably somebody else ended up with Harden. Usually in these situations, they have what you call the fall guy. You know, basically the dude that's there who reaped the benefits of hanging around, the rich, wealthy celebrity, whatever line of work he's in. And basically, you bring some people over, and at the end of the day, you bring some women over, y'all have some fun. A lot of times the women be aiming for, the dude with the money, and sometimes it don't go their ways. So, since they there, they just settle for, the people that's part of the entourage. This happens on a regular basis. So like I said before, um, now James Harden's name is about to get smeared through the mud. But I expected this. I talked to somebody. I cannot remember who I told. I think I told Too Raw that they was going to eventually come after James Harden. It's just like a free for all where now these women are just coming after black men. And at the end of the day, this is why, like I said, the strip clubs are dying. This is why the clubs are dying, because now these dudes are just going to decide to stay home. They're not going to go out. This is why DeMar Chase did what he did when that woman attempted to try to hug him. That's why he curbed her. Probably 10 years ago, he probably would have just hugged her. But then if he would have went through with hugging her, she would have said she felt violated, even though she initiated the contact. This is what they're doing. And I'm going to say this again. Do not believe all women. Um, DDD DDG did a show. I'm keeping track of that, but he did come with some receipts. I told people that Haley Bailey wasn't on the up and up, and something wasn't right about her. All you got to do is look at the eyes. He seen that had some receipts and some proof that she wasn't being honest. But this is what goes on. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about how these black men and how their reputation can be destroyed by a woman. Just simply making accusations. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have a pile on. You're going to have these fake feminists that's going to have an opinion. But I'm going to tell you right now, like I said, the only people that's going to be hurt in the long run, is a lot of these businesses. A lot of clubs and stuff rely on celebrities coming through, spending a lot of money, buying, bottles and renting the place out, or just spending money on their friends. But what's going to happen is, like I said, you're going to start seeing a decline in people going to the club. You're already seeing a decline in people going to the clubs because, one, they're just sick of the attitude of these women. They're sick of the entitlement. They're sick and tired of the disrespect. And like I said before, the strip clubs are going to be on the decline because these dudes going to be like, I can't go nowhere if I try to go somewhere. If I make any kind of contact with a woman, she's going to accuse me of something. She's going to try to sue me. She's going to be trying to look for some money. So at the end of the day, this is just terrible. It's unfortunate that this is happening. This is an epidemic now. This is an epidemic now. Biggie Smalls wasn't lying when he said more money, more problems. And I'm gonna tell you something else. What's gonna start happening? A lot of these famous athletes, they gonna snap. When I say they're gonna eventually snap, they're gonna snap. Don't be surprised if you start seeing these athletes pulling a Ray Caruth, if you catch my drift, because they gon' I think it's gonna get to the boiling point where these dudes like, damn, I'm sick of this shit. I'm already sick of this shit. Every fucking time I look around, some athlete getting sued, and in particularly a black man. These dudes can't all be bad. They always getting sued. You know what I'm saying? Not it's always a civil suit. And my thing is, once again, why ain't she suing the nephew? Man, I mean, the club scene is dying. The club scene is dying. Women have completely ruined it and fucked it up because you used to go to the club to, mingle and meet people, and these women just come to the club with a fucked up attitude. Like, why are you at the club if you don't want to be approached? Why do you have your ass there? And just a lot of these women, they just bring a natural black cloud with them. It's like when they walk in the room, the place darkens because they have a bad spirit with them. But anyway, we'll talk about this more. This your boy Town. I'm out.